Hi guys, and welcome to Connecting Japan, and this is part of our travel series Golden Week. When we're on the tail end before we fly out, and we thought we'd cover this now so you can look at this video and go, when I go to Golden Week, I know exactly what to do. So why is it called Golden Week? Is there gold involved? No, there's no gold involved. But when they use the word golden hour, it's sort of like prime time on television and so on. And so with Golden Week, a lot of the great things that were coming out of Japan after the war, they were airing on TV. And there was a time period where they were actually airing it, and that ended up being called Golden Week. So that's how it got its name. That's just a very basic explanation. There's probably a lot more to it than I'm explaining it. This was instituted as a national holiday, or a series of national holidays, in 1948. So it's been around quite some time. There are 4 holidays that happen. This year, Golden Week starts from the 29th of April to the 6th of May. Why so long? Because some of the holidays fall in weekends, and so we have this same thing in Australia. When a holiday falls on a weekend, like a Sunday, there's an additional day. So that's why it ends a little later this year. So the first one is Showa no Hi, which is Showa Day, or Emperor Showa's birthday, which is the 29th of April. The next one is Kempo Kinenbi, and that is Constitution Day, which is the 3rd of May, which is a Sunday. Midori no Hi, Greenery Day, and that's May 4th this year. And Kodomo no Hi, Children's Day, which is May 5th. And of course, they get an additional day, as we mentioned. So that's probably just a day of rest from all the holidays and all the festivities. So let's get started into them. But before we do, we'll do a little bit of a history background for you, because it's talking about the most famous emperor and the most longest reigning emperor who is part of Golden Week. So emperors in Japan have been around for a long time, although it's no longer called the Empire of Japan. But each emperor, when he starts his reign, is given a throne name. So Emperor Showa is not his actual name. He has another name, Hirohito. But usually in those days, he was just called Emperor Showa. So how did they get the era name? In the past, it used to be Chinese literature. The last few emperors, it's been Japanese literature. So who is the current emperor of Japan? Emperor Reiwa means beautiful order, harmonious order. And his name is Emperor Naruhito. So, so Japan's monarchy has lasted for hundreds of years, unbroken, one of the longest enduring monarchies in the world. And of course, there's only ever been one abdication, and that was Emperor Naruhito, our current emperor, his dad, Emperor Akihito. He abdicated in a few years ago now. And he abdicated for ill health reasons. He couldn't continue on in his duties. So when an enthronement happens, it often is tacked onto Golden Week. So when it's usually roughly about 5 days, they got 10 days off. So as you can imagine, it was a time of great enjoyment, and it can be very expensive. They carried the emperor on this huge golden sedan chair, and it's a big celebration. The other, besides all of the interruptions with that, teachers in particular have a lot to do as well, because as someone who's worked in the educational sector, there's a lot of planning to do before a big holiday. And one of the things the teachers do is they actually visit family members of their students. And so they're very hard-working people, Japanese teachers. So the next time you think about your teacher, think about how hard they really work. So let's go into each of the holidays. So Showa no Hi is about Emperor Showa. So he ruled from 1926 to 1989. That's a very long time to rule. So a lot of things had changed in the world during those days. And of course, apart from his personal reign, between the 50s and the 80s was the most progressive time in Japan. They had some massive technological advancements, particularly in the area of transportation. You might know them, monorails and the Shinkansen. Well, monorails as they stand now are different. They're floating trains now, but the Shinkansens have gone from strength to strength. And Japan is rightly very proud of their transportation system, which is second to none in the world. So, of course, Showa Day also brings the sense of natsukushi, which is the Japanese word for feeling nostalgic. And if you go into a lot of older buildings, Japanese pubs or izakayas or shops or any of these things, and you see a lot of 1950-ish type regalia there, you can bet that they are celebrating Showa Day, but they also have a real sense of nostalgia. It was a beautiful time where everybody was recovering and the world seemingly was at peace. So the 1950s has become a very popular era, whether it's been closed or whatever, and this transcends all generations, not just our baby boomers who are still with us, but also Gen Xers like myself and other generations are appreciating some of our past. So Golden Week is obviously instituted in 1948, but just before that time, the next holiday came into being, Kenpo Kinenbi, which was Constitution Day. So this was the time period where the Constitution recognized Japan as the modern day Japan it is, and no longer the Empire of Japan. So obviously this flag that I'm carrying is the most modern day flag of Japan. It has changed a little bit over time. So people just, it was enacted on that in that time. The next one is Midori no Hi. Midori no Hi, Midori means green, no Hi, day. So green day, not the band, just celebrating nature. Now, this holiday came about because Emperor Showa had a great love of nature. So, in honor of this, many parks and gardens where there are an admittance fee, they're free. So, if you're in, at the time of this filming, Midori no Hi is May 3rd. If you're in Japan then and you want to go into a park and you go in there on that day, you won't have to pay anything. This also applies to Ueno Zoo as well. And it's a time everybody gets out in the garden, and like me personally, I love it. You've seen our socials, you know that I love it. So I am definitely looking forward to some beautiful gardens. We've got a couple of really good ones on our list. The last one, of course, is Children's Day. Now, the Children's Day, of course, there are 3 actual holidays for Children's Day. This one is for children as a whole, but there also is an additional sort of time of celebration in Kodomo no Hi, because Kodomo means child, is Tango no Seku, which is Boys' Day. Now, the girls get their holiday before the boys. That's in March 3rd, called Hina Matsuri. So the girls get their holiday first, but the boys kind of get a little bit more spoiled on this day. There's one thing that also happens that you'll see in Japan. You'll see a lot of these. These are called koi nobori. These are called flying carp kites. This is a very small example, but you'll see very big ones hanging from all sorts of areas in Japan. So this is our time of like appreciating children. How wonderful. They've got lots of energy, and and you'll see a lot of them flying these big koi nobori around. So I remember making one of these in school when I was in primary school, and I must admit, if I had known I was flying one of these much later in my years, Yeah, I don't know what I would be saying about that. But anyway, guys, that's Golden Week. So, of course, you need to take care. Go during Golden Week. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crazy. And not all shops will be open. So be sure, guys, to just take your time, have a look around. Some of the big tourist areas, of course, will have shops open. That will be for the tourists. So if you want to look at more, go to JNTO, which is Japanese National Travel Organization, and some of the big travel websites, and they will give you at least some idea of what you might be able to do. From all of us here at Connecting Japan, we are really looking forward to showing you Japan. So we'll be going to places like Tokyo, Akihabara, Asakusa. We're also going to somewhere in Amori, and we're also going to a town called Ichikawa in the Chiba prefecture. And who knows, we just might see Fuji-san, Mount Fuji, while we're in Japan. So from all of us here, guys, keep an eye out for our socials. Don't keep up to date with all our updates. And from all of us here in Connecting Japan, John Martinet, we'll see